Hello everyone. Now let's talk about an extremely important topic for anyone in the church or house of worship market, which is working with volunteers. We know that churches are reliant on volunteers, and you may or may not be able to rely on a given volunteer to be there every single week. So we have this was something we heard over and over and over again at WFX shows that we went to in Nashville, Tennessee, and in Louisville, Kentucky, and I know I mentioned it's in Dallas, Texas next year if you guys want to see us, or this year in 2017. But we got the question so much that we put together a little list of things that we can do to make life easier for volunteers. So, first of all, volunteers like it when it's easy, right? So one of the things that we want to make easy is the software. So we talked about choosing an easy software, right? Because we want to choose something that's easy. We may or may not be able to rely on the person, being able to take one of our training courses. Now keep in mind, we have training courses, okay? So we have a training course on vMix. We have a training course on Wirecast. We have a training course on OBS, and we have a training course on XSplit. So if you have a volunteer and you've watched some of the other videos here and you've chosen a software, now you can give the volunteers the ability to take a free training course and really get to know that software, because somebody's going to have to become the champion here. Now, once you've got your champion, or your volunteer who's really going to push this streaming project forward, what they can do in the software is they can create a preset. And the preset basically organizes everything. So if your church wants to have, I'm just going to create a little list of things that it might include. Maybe there's an intro video, okay? Maybe there's a logo. Maybe there's a camera. And there's almost obviously a camera, and there's obviously audio. But all of these things are set up, okay, in what's called a scene in a lot of the software. All the softwares are a little different, but consider it a scene. So you have your introduction scene where it shows your video. Then you've got your main camera scene where maybe it has a lower third that says something important that's very easy for the volunteers to change. So this preset is so key. So, it's probably a rinse, wash, repeat style thing where, yes, you're putting in a new service, new content, live content, engaging content, but the actual media that you're using, like the intro video, the logos, all of that stuff is kind of like preset up so that the volunteers don't have to worry about it. They go in, they change the lower third title to be the topic of the day. Maybe you have a preset that includes the church music. Maybe you have an overlay that runs for the music, but all the volunteers have to do is update that. So create a preset and create a process. A process that the volunteers can follow. There's just a few things they need to update, and with software today, they can create an amazing, high-quality production with not a whole lot of skill. So there's this process, and I'll just put here with a checklist. They follow the checklist. You can even work with a value-add streaming company like churchstreaming.tv or StreamSpot who can even schedule this. So a checklist or just a schedule. You can literally have it so that it just turns on at 9 a.m. and video and audio are just streaming. So that's another way to do it. But that's the first thing, is the software. Let's make that easy. Now, number 2, let's make camera operation easy. Now, this is a step that you may not have to take. Maybe you're just using a static camera, but we're assuming that you're going on the path of maybe adding a pan tilt zoom camera. Well, one of the easiest ways to make it intuitive is to use a joystick. Everyone knows how to use a joystick. It moves the camera. It's very easy, right? Okay, so with the joystick, you can also have presets, okay? And one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is there's 9 presets on the remote. They could use that. You don't need to buy a joystick. But one of the biggest mistakes is just not telling other people what the presets go to. So whether you're using a joystick or a camera, one of the things I suggest is a list. So that, the list would say, preset 1 is the podium. Preset 2 is the choir. And then 3 and so on. And what I would recommend there, here, let me remove this lower third so you guys can see all that. What I would recommend there is I would laminate it. So I'd write it down a piece of paper. Maybe it's your checklist and it's your preset list, and you laminate it, and it's there, and it sits right next to the streaming system. And again, the affordable streaming system could be a laptop, the camera, a USB PTZOptics camera plugged in, your audio plugged in, less than $1,000, okay, for the computer, and maybe $2,000 if you're using a camera as well. But that would be the easiest way. Just have that cheat sheet for the volunteer. Now 3 is this is the thing that I would say. Now with audio can get complicated. There's no way to decomplicate it. You might have to work with somebody or just get a simple wireless handheld. Start. So what I'm going to say here, this kind of applies to audio, but it applies to everything. Is start simple. A lot of people have always said KISS. Okay, keep it simple, stupid. All right. You want to grow into this. Start very simple. 1 PTZ camera with the joystick, okay? And your audio. Stream that. Keep it simple. And then as the volunteers become more engaged, more exciting, this is fun stuff, let them grow into it, okay? Maybe if you start with OBS, which is a free live streaming software, use that. I would encourage people to start with the simplest, easiest, free software, and then when you realize that you want some of the advanced features that Wirecast and vMix and a TriCaster offer, make sure you have someone there who's going to want to use it, that's going to set up those advanced presets. And keep in mind that it's not just a live streaming system, it's a video production system. You can create promotional videos for community events, you can stream or record birthdays, baptisms, weddings. It's a complete system that you can use to make in-house amazing videos. So that's working with volunteers.
Click to watch another exciting PTZOptics video, and don't forget to subscribe. Tune in Fridays at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern to join our live show with new industry experts interviewed every week.